が全ての邪悪流の頂点に立つ俺様の真の姿。
Alright, everybody. Here he is. LR Omega Shenron, finally out on Global. Here he is, guys. I think I'm going to leave him linked up, because what do you guys... Yeah, we'll do this instead. We'll leave these guys linked together. Yeah, Omega, we got him here, rainbowed, level 10 links. I guess you can see it all right there. There's the rainbow, there's the level 10 links. Very nice. 470k defense right here is pretty good. I want to start this off by saying something like very simple, right? LR Omega is very good. LR Omega himself, in a vacuum, is a very good unit. What is holding him back is his team. GT Bosses is simply terrible. Not good. Now, that's not to say you can't win with this team, but it's not going to help you in, like, the two hardest fights, which are probably himself, Omega Shenron, and Fusion Zamasu. Also, give me just 1 second real quick. I'm going to fix something on the layout here. Okay, there we go. We're back. I fixed... So my name, like the little silver thing that's like behind my name, that was in the wrong spot. I just remembered to fix that. So anyway, we're back here. We got Omega. You guys can see what's going on here, right? Like it's Omega Shenron. What were we talking about? Oh, Omega Shenron is good. He's held back by GT Bosses not being very good. And we're going to take him into a lot of different events for the World Tour. And I think as long as there's not AoE fights, we can probably get wins. But where this team struggles is going to be against AoE fights. Because I really do think that, like, Tech Sin can be a competent character against a lot of these tough fights in the game. But with, like, the two hardest fights having these really tough int AoE phases, it's just not going to be easy for him. And even, like, the STR Sin is going to... Or the STR Omega phase of the Omega event would shred this guy, so... that is unfortunate. And then, like, of course, we're just kind of waiting for this unit to get an easy A. They could go out of order and go ahead and give this unit their easy A next on JP. But even then, it'd probably be a little bit too late. But, I mean, maybe. Rildo right here, I mean, they could just easy A him anytime they wanted to. Like, if they dropped, like, a Dokkan Fest baby, they could easy A this guy, and I think that could really help. Cord issues also really helps, so that's good. Also, my build for Rildo isn't really crazy, but... like, this guy's supports, which is nice, so, I mean, there is that. LR Baby will be getting his easy A next week. That'll definitely help the team, but again, he has to kind of attack first to be decent. But his Grade 8 transformation can provide some usage. Somehow, this guy is still good. I mean, well, he's usable. You could definitely use this guy in, like, the Omega Shenron fight to some success, so that's good. I don't know if he's really going to help you with Fusion Zamasu, but potentially if you got good luck with his attacks taken. And then this unit as well, they were kind of a fumble, just in that they're another unit, right, that needs to attack first to be able to defend. So that's just, like, we're full of these units. And Omega is, like, the only slot 1 unit on the team, and so whenever it comes to these AoEs... they just take a lot of damage, and then nobody really does damage on the team, which is kind of unfortunate. So, just to show it real quick, my build for Omega right here, we have 8 additional 3 crit, 22 dodge. I just prioritize defense for him, as you guys can see here with his equipment. Because, like, if I'm going to be using this guy, I need him to be tanking. So, we'll just talk about him here. We'll use him. His big thing is that he gets damage reduction for all of the GT Bosses category allies on the team. A lot of his kit revolves around debuffing, so if you're going up against a fight that can be debuffed, like the Vegito Blue in the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will event, like this guy can be really good in there. But yeah, really, his ultimate downfall is that he gets 5% damage reduction per GT Bosses category ally on the team. So, like, you really want to be using him on a full GT Bosses team to get the full benefit of that, and there's just not really many other GT Bosses. What sucks about this guy the most is that he's on some teams that could have really used him. That's why people were really wanting, like, an LR Omega Shenron for a long time, is because he's on a lot of teams that need help. For example, I don't know. Why isn't this guy on Worldwide Chaos, by the way? But, like... I don't know. Just any of these teams, right? Like, Inhuman Deeds, this guy could have been really helpful for. Does Fusion Zamasu lead Inhuman Deeds? Is that who's the leader for that? I don't remember what he leads, no. What does Fusion Zamasu lead? I don't remember. It's like Worldwide Chaos, Realm of Gods, and Fused Fighter, I think is what it is. So I guess he's, like, not on his team. But even if he was just competent, you could run this guy on his 150% lead. And, like, he could have been good on there, for example. So, I don't know. Omega Shenron is definitely shafted in Dokkan here, just needing to be run on the GT Bosses category. Like, I mean, you know, there's some good extreme units, like, on all of these teams. Like, Transformation Boost, especially. Battle of Fate. Like, if we ever get a Transformation Boost, like, villain leader that's, like, crazy again, kind of, like, cooler... it's like we won't probably be able to run this guy just because he needs GT bosses. He does also get damage reduction per Rainbow Orb, but that's inconsistent, right? You really need that base 35% damage reduction and then building off of that with your Rainbow Key Spheres for it to really be effective. He has a revive, which is nice, but yeah. I mean, let's get into it. He's starting out here. Dude, can we... stop with the cord? I might have to, like, I don't know. Give me a second. Okay, so as far as his passive goes, let's just get to it right here. His only, like, attack and defense that he's actually getting is his 200% at the start of turn, at least in terms of defense. He does build up some attack with each attack performed. It doesn't really get up too crazy, but he can do some decent damage eventually, especially after you revive. And you get the additional super attack and the super effective against all types. Isn't that a thing? Or am I making that up? Hang on. Yeah, attacks effective against all types and launches an additional super attack starting from the turn after reviving. The thing that sucks about this character, for some reason, this guy came out after 23rd World Tournament Goku, by the way, is only one of the Omegas, like if you revive on Omega's team, only one of them gets the effect of the revive. The other one doesn't get it. I don't know why they did that. That's kind of lame. Like, they should both get it. Like, 23rd World Tournament Goku, right? You revive with any character, and both 23rd World Tournament Gokus, if you're running his team, will, like, get their guaranteed guard and their crazy passive. Why didn't they do that for Omega? Question mark? Not really sure. But for calculating his defense, all you have to do is take what you see at the start of turn, and then you have his super attack effects. So on his 18 key, he gets 50% defense. On his 12 key, he gets 30%. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? We're at 470, 093 right here. 470, 093, multiplied by 1.5 for 50%. And we get 705k defense with however much damage reduction. We have a baseline 35% because we're on a full GT Bosses team, and then we'll get 7% extra per Rainbow Orbs. So defensively, this guy's going to be looking pretty good. Looks like we can get 4 Rainbow Orbs here. By the way, we're going up against the Gammas. I think one of the phases can be debuffed. I can't remember, but I just wanted to hop into the Gammas fight. There's no AoEs in here. It's, you know, it's not like crazy hard, so I can bring some of these like lower level characters in here, and Omega should be able to get us by. So we may have to hop into another like video to try to get his revive in. But yeah, I just wanted to hop in here and see how we would do. So he starts out at a 6.8 million attack stat. Remember, we need to do, what, 8 attacks, I believe, to fully build up his passive of that extra 20% that we get per attack performed. So we've got 1 performed right there. Now we have Sin coming in. Now Sin, Tech Sin is actually, like, again, he's actually still pretty good. He also Rainbow Orb changes, which is nice. His issue, again, is that he needs to super attack first before he can do anything, so... anyhow, we will cut and come back once we are back with my Omega, because the friend Omega is 79%, and I'm not sure what his links are. So we'll just cut right here, and we will come back with my Omega on rotation. Okay, so we actually died. So I decided to hop into the Vegito Blue fight, because, like, this is actually a harder fight, probably, than the Gammas, but it's going to be better suited for this team since we can attack debuffs, so that's what I'm going for here. We'll throw Tech Sin in the middle. Hopefully we don't get super attacked on him. But we'll see. This friend is only 69%, but they're decently link leveled. I'm not sure how GT is activated because we're at full HP, but I will take it. Sure. We got a lot of orbs for Sin right there. Sin needs them, remember. He gets, like, a bunch of stuff in his passive. He gets, like, additional super attacks. He gets a ton of extra stats. He does a lot of stuff if you get, like, 7 key spheres, so... that'll be good, and then Super 17, post-super attack should be fine at the end. I remember that Omega is passive debuffing. I don't know if I've gone over that yet. But his passive, he does debuff attack and defense 25%, and then he also debuffs on his super attack effects, so this is going to give us another debuff right there, so that's very nice. No super attack yet is a little bit alarming, because that probably means that Tech Sin right here is going to get super attacked. I think if he, like, triple supered, he could survive. Oh, he only gave us one. Okay. If he wants to super 17, that'd also be fine. He's not built up at all, but, I mean, he does have, like, the baseline, what, 40% damage reduction? So, yeah, okay, get a couple hits in here. All right, nice. And then, yeah, so this super attack right here, it'll do some damage to us, but it wouldn't do a ton because we did get quite a few hits in right there, so our damage reduction is built up. This next rotation is going to be a little bit tough, though. My Omega, of course, was in slot 7, so I'm not sure how we're going to survive this turn right here, but if we do, we'll be back. If not, we might be on turn 1 again. We'll see. All right, we're back. Back on turn 1 again, by the way. We died. I just have been resetting for like 20 minutes. Not actually, it's been like 5. But trying to get like opening rotations where we have an Omega on each rotation. That way, I can actually do this fight. It's been horrific. I mean, I kept loading in and getting the 2 Omegas on the second rotation. I was like, come on, please. Please, we got to get the 2 Omegas together if we want to have any chance of doing this. Because we need their debuffs up at all times. So, I mean, the teams in here can definitely beat this. I actually beat this earlier with a very similar team. I just had Oceanus on the team instead of STR Rildo. I think that's the only change I made. I might have had somebody else instead of the LR Shadow Dragons as well. But it should be a pretty equal trade-off, so I'm not concerned so long as we can get our debuffs off and, like, the 17s dodge this. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice right there. Yep, we need that. Now, I believe Vegito gets an attack buff whenever he super attacks, so Super 17 might be taking a lot more damage here than he took on the first turn. Yeah, I mean, it's like we debuffed him, but he gets all that back. We can't revive. If we had fallen below 70% HP, we actually could have revived right here, but we did not, so we can't revive, obviously. So we want to get as many rainbow orbs with Omega here as possible. So I guess let's grab... We'll grab these. That's 4 orbs. It doesn't really matter where I put you, I guess. Kind of unfortunate that you're here. I'd like to get a... I mean, it's just... I wish I knew where the super attack was, right? Like, if it was in slot 3 or slot 2 right here. Because I think he'll be fine against normals, maybe? I don't know. It's going to be tough wherever we put him. I guess we'll just keep him here. Does he debuff at all? Like, this LR Shadow Dragons? Do they do anything? Lowers attack and defense. Lowers attack and defense, okay. Vegito, yeah, that's all we can do is lower attack, so... I guess we'll grab these. That should give us enough STR orbs for Tech Sin to get his full passive, yeah. Okay, so, you know, we'll get a couple debuffs off, that's good. We also do... Okay, that's good. Maybe? I don't know. LR Omega, my Omega should be fine right here. We shouldn't take any damage from this. If we do, it'll be like 100k. Yeah, see, 77 damage. That's nothing, yeah. I mean, LR Omega, again, is very good. It's just that he is the only good unit on the team, pretty much. Tech Sin is fine if you can super attack first. Super 17 is fine if you can get him built up. The TUR Super 17 is fine, you know, as long as he's dodging, I guess. And you can get attacks off first. I'm not sure how well they're going to do right here. 150k. I mean, obviously not very good. That's with Vegito's attack buff. I think we would need Tech Sin to triple super here. He's been giving us pretty bad luck in this video so far, so hopefully... Dude, seriously. Alright, there's the... That's good. 2 super attacks. I don't think he tanks, though, with 2 because Vegito supered. Oh, he does. Okay, that's good. So on this next... Dude, Vegito. Why, Vegito? It's GT bosses! My guy, relax, Vegito! I mean, it's decent tanking, all things considered. All right, back on turn 1 again. We're just, you know, we're getting footage of this friend Omega. I wish we'd get a little bit more footage of mine. I mean, we saw mine, I guess, double-digit tank a super attack from this guy, which I don't know if I want to say that's good or bad, but I mean, obviously it has some value, right? My whole goal with this showcase is just to get some footage of Omega, so I'd like to do that, you know, maybe show where his abilities can be useful, and this fight is definitely a prime example of an area where attack debuffing can be good. It's just that we're, like, not attack debuffing fast enough to really, like, lock Vegito down, and then all of our units are, like, the double super from Vegito was just out of pocket last turn, right? Like, can we agree that last turn was just, like, a fluke, and that Vegito's double super was just, like, extremely out of pocket? Like dude did not need to be flexing on us that hard. Bro came out here with like we're on like we're at recess. We're like I don't know, second graders at recess, and Vegito Blue decided to like hire Michael Jordan to come play us, right? Like serious. Like he told him like you get out there and you know be the finals MVP, right? Like do not give them slack. Are you kidding me, Vegito, with the double supers, dude? This video is going to be an hour long. This video is going to be an hour long because I can't get any footage. Did we survive? Oh, we survived. Okay, we have the revive. So if we die, we don't die. So that's good. We'll be able to get that footage in the video. Revives aren't skippable, so I don't need to check the animations. All right, so here we are again. This is a lot of support for Omega defensively. Yeah, he's at 527k, so he's not taking damage here. That's pretty good, right? My goodness, Vegito, relax! Bro is turning, like, like, we got Michael Jordan in the front and then LeBron in the back. Like, chill, my guy. Oh, Omega. Oh, nice dodge. Again, mine has full dodge. Well, 22 dodge. That's pretty much full dodge, right? Like, if I said mine has full dodge, would you guys say that, like, that's correct? I wasn't sure if I wanted to use a defensive orb in the bronze slot or that 3 dodge. I was going back and forth, but I didn't like 19 dodge, and I didn't want to change the silver equip. So I went with 22 dodge because that's an even number and it makes me happy. Okay, we're dead here. Rildo cannot, like, even fathom tanking this. So we will revive and we'll play that animation. Alright, very nice from Omega there. So now my Omega gets a guaranteed additional super attack. He's super effective against all types. We could go ahead and play this active skill if we wanted to. This active skill does also debuff. So this active skill, Omega's active skill, it has actually a pretty decent condition. Can be activated when the enemy is in the attack down or defense down status on turn 3 or at any time starting from turn 6. So that's pretty nice. Let's see, what does it do? It greatly raises attack, ultimate damage to the enemy, and lowers attacking defense by 30% for 1 turn. So, pretty powerful effect. It could help us out here. Potentially debuff Vegito here. So, you know, let's go ahead. We'll play this. Just because, you know, like, why not? Why not play this? It's Omega's showcase. We'll just go ahead. Now, this would obviously do more damage if his passive was built up more. But I'm going to go ahead and pop it now, 1 for the animation and 2 for the debuff, because this turn is kind of spooky. There's a lot of attacks all over the place. Alrighty, there we go. And then it also has an attack break. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So I want to say again, Omega, if you've made it 20 minutes into this video with me, we're chilling. I've got my electric blanket out. I'm like reclined, feet up on my desk, phone is in my lap. Like we're chilling here, right? If you guys have made it this far with me, right? I said it at the beginning of the video. Omega is a very powerful unit. He has a lot of stuff in his kit that just makes him just really good. I haven't talked about it, but it's like he's got on his super tech effects. He's got like the attack lowering. He's got the stun. He's got the seal on his 12 key. He raises defense on both of his effects, which is what we like to see. He's got damage reduction in his kit. He's got some build-up attack passive that makes him more powerful as the fight goes on. He's got a revive, which has a pretty easy condition. His attack or his active skill is pretty easy to get, and it has a really good effect. He has a good link set. He's on a lot of teams. What holds him back is that he's limited to one team. Imagine just change this guy's, we've all talked about it since he released, but change his passive that instead of GT bosses, you just need extreme class units on the team. And instantly, like, this guy is a killer. He is a must-run on every villain team now until the end of time. But for some reason, they've locked him to GT bosses. And we can't even say that GT bosses hasn't gotten help. Like that, we can't even say that. Right? Like, we got this baby. We got Ice and Nova. We got this Super, 17 thing. We got this free-to-play unit. We got LR Baby's EZA. We got this unit sub-EZA. We got this unit sub-EZA. We got this guy's EZA. This guy is still a decent unit. Who else here? Who am I forgetting? The LR on JP that just came out. The LR GT Cell and Frieza. Like, they've gotten help. It just hasn't been good help. It's been, like, really bad. Baby is okay. Baby's okay, but that, like, new LR that came out, like, what? Oh, and then Oceana Shenron, she also EZA'd. Like, we've gotten a ton of EZAs, we've gotten a ton of buffs, but every single one of them has just been, like, mid or bad. Like, I mean, this guy's actually pretty decent, but, like, what are we doing? What? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because it's like they're clearly, like, trying to help this guy. Like, they are putting resources, thought, and effort into buffing this team. And it's just bad. Like, I don't get it, man. I'm truly at a loss. So, yeah. Let's go ahead. I guess we can do this. I don't know that it really matters. We've debuffed this guy a lot, and we have the attack breaks. Let's grab all of these orbs right here. That's 7 orbs for Sin. That's good. And then we'll just grab these STR orbs here for them. That'll give us a little bit of healing. So, again, let me know what you guys think about LR Omega. He's like a very hard unit to evaluate because, I give Kale a hard time. But, I mean, it's literally... I would actually say that, like, in a vacuum, like, let's assume that they both have a perfect setup. I think Omega, like, it drops turds on Kale. Like, in their perfect setup. Like, let's say GT Bosses is in, like, it's, like, the best team in the game. And Universe 6 is, like, the best team in the game. And they're, like, tied for best team in the game, right? I think Omega on that GT Bosses team just completely blows away anything Kale can do on her team. And I don't think it's close. But unfortunately, both teams are just trash, so it doesn't matter. This guy's like the worst Carnival LR, but it's just because his team's in a terrible spot. And they've tried to buff it. They've tried. They got somebody in there just like pumping out GT Bosses buffs. And every single one of them is just like a flop. I don't understand. I was doing some runs earlier. I posted one of them on Twitter, kind of like as a reply. I doubt anybody saw it. Geek saw it, very geek, because I replied to him and I just put it on there, just as like a joke. I don't know. It wasn't that funny, but I was doing some runs in the Omega fight with GT Bosses, and I legitimately got to, I think it was turn like 11 before I got out of before I got out of the first phase. I was on turn 11. I was like, all right, this is a little absurd here. I could use the active skill again, but I'll save it just in case we can get the KO screen. By the way, another thing I do want to talk about is that, you know, I mentioned it, his link set is really good. I mean, Brutal Beatdown, very common villain link. Big Bad Bosses, obviously, very good, you know, common link. GT, of course he's going to have this, but it has a really good effect. Fear and Faith doesn't really matter, but again, it's just key, which is nice. Shadow Dragons is another very, very powerful link. Fierce Battle is just whatever, and then Legendary Powers, whatever. But you do need to link level this guy if you're going to get him. If for some insano reason you decided to summon for this guy, you guys better be link leveling him. I better not see level 1 link Omega Shenrons out there. This guy needs to be link level 10. I don't know if I mentioned it as well. I can't remember because this video is 25 minutes and I'm just rambling at this point. But, like, his card art is insane. Like this is really good. Like, I love this card art and everything. His animations are really good. His voice acting is pretty good. Like, all of his super attacks are good. Like, aesthetically, this card is very awesome to look at. It's just GT bosses. GT bosses, huh? At this point, by the way, I'm just going for a long time. Just, you know, I'm just rambling on here because, I mean, are we doing anything else today? Oh, I guess I do. I gotta go do the last 2 Omega Shenron missions. And then I gotta do, Man, see, if we had used the active skill here, we actually would have broken this super attack. That would have been really good for us. Because now we're probably gonna die to the, LR Shenron in the middle. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't know, because we got a lot of... yeah, I don't know. This guy's debuffed quite a bit, but remember that we are going to double super here, at least with Omega, because we did revive. So we have a second super attack coming in. So that's good, because that's another debuff. I don't think... Can we seal this guy? No, we can't. We can't seal or stun. We can only attack debuff. But we got another attack debuff coming in here from these guys, so maybe. Maybe. Oh, but yeah, I gotta do the burst mode, and then I gotta do the last 2 missions. So I'll probably do those after this. I don't know. Oh, that's a good dodge. Or was he at double digits? I didn't see. We only dodged one of the attacks. I assume we were at double digits. Yeah. That or we dodged 2 attacks, which I doubt happened. We'll see. Alright, Super 17 should be fine here. Just because this guy's debuffed so much at this point. That we should be fine here. Let's see how much this does. Yeah, nothing. We're also still not built up with this guy. I think now we are. Now we're fully built up. That's good. Here we go. We got this Omega again. I mean, we're looking good. I mean, this guy's only 69%, by the way. And, I mean, he's over 400k defense, and then he gets 50% from his 18 key and 30% on his other one. I think on that last turn... We were probably somewhere close to, like, 900k to, like, 1,000,000 defense, I think. What would we be at? Yeah, basically, because we would have gotten, like, 1.8. We were at, like, I don't know, 450k, 500k, something like that with our defense. And then we got 1.8, so we essentially double it. So we were around, like, 800 to 900k defense last turn with, like, 63% damage reduction or something. Like, that's pretty good. I don't know if you guys think that that's good or bad, but... Again, Omega is great. It's just the GT bosses category around him is the problem. Despite constant buffs. Dude, Homeboy is being relentless today. Like, Vegito, I need you to relax. I think if I was going to make any change with Vegito, or I'm sorry, with Omega... Obviously, other than just removing the GT bosses restriction, because that's the dumbest thing in the world, if I was going to change anything about his kit, I would make it so that if one of the Omegas revived, the other Omega got the revival effect, because that is just such a bummer. It makes it seem like he's supposed to be, like... It makes it seem like you're supposed to run, like, a GT bosses team with only one of these Carnival LR Omegas, and, like, somebody else is supposed to be the leader for it. It is the vibe I get from that. Like, you're supposed to have another GT bosses leader, and this is just, like, your singular revive unit. Like, it doesn't feel like he's supposed to be a leader unit to me. This might kill us. We've debuffed this Vegito a lot, but this might hurt us. Let's see. Yeah, we're still dead from Rildo right there. Well, I'd say we got enough footage in for Omega. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to end the showcase here. and move into the breakdown. We got his revive, we got his active skill. The only thing we didn't get is his KO screen, which I'm not. We'll get that at some point, maybe, or we won't. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Omega. It's unfortunate. It really is. He is very like fun. He's very good, like in a vacuum, but like he himself. GT bosses though just really pulls him down. So. Let me know what you guys think. Let's move into the breakdown. We've kind of already talked about it, but let's just move over. I'm just gonna keep them up on the screen. Is that fine? Maybe. No. Let's take them off. Whew. All right. So this is the Ultimate Shadow Dragon Omega Shenron. Leader skill is GT bosses. Category key 3. HP attack and defense 200%. His super attack is the Dragon Thunder. This is his 12 key. Raises defense by 30% for 1 turn, causes colossal damage, and lowers enemy attack by 20%, and it also has a high chance to stun the enemy. So, I mean, this is a lot of effects, right? Obviously, defense raise is good, attack lower is good in some situations, and a chance to stun is always nice to have. Again, just very powerful effects right here. We like that. His 18 key, Purgatory Dragon Slaying Waltz. All right. Raises defense by 50% for 1 turn. Causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. Lowers attack and defense by 20%. And seals enemy super attacks. Again, very good effects. It's nice that he has all these debuffs running around. He's got the defensive raises. Very nice from Omega right here. These are class super attack effects. This is just this isn't very good though. This leader skill. Okay. Passive skill, Catastrophe Born of Malignant Energy. Activates entrance animation upon character's entry once only. That's nice that there's no condition attached to it. And then he changes int key spheres to rainbow for 7 turns. I don't think this really needed to be capped. I think this should just be forever. Because this is a very slow team, GT bosses. And this character, like, he takes forever to build up, and you need these rainbow key spheres for him to be defensive. So this is kind of a bummer. But if you're running him with Tech Sin can help out, but also Tech Sin is prone to just getting obliterated. So all enemies attacking defense minus 25% is nice. A passive debuff is always good. Key 3 attacking defense 200%. Again, very good right there. He gets an additional 20% attack with each attack performed up to 150. So you need to do 8 attacks. That can be supers or normals to fully build him up. I'm sure a lot of people are going to give him additionals because of this, but I wouldn't recommend it. He gets an additional key +1 and reduces damage received by 5% per GT bosses category ally on the team. Again, this is just like the unfortunate line in his passive. This is just like the boner reducer or something. I don't know. I don't know what to call this. This is the but I've already talked about this at length about why it's bad, so additional damage reduction of 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained. This is what kind of gives him viability on other teams, but like you really want this base 35% running him on a full GT bosses team. If HP is 50% or less at the start of character's attacking turn, revive with 70% HP recovered when the character or ally attacking in the turn is KO'd once only. So this is his revive right here. I mean, this is good. It's good just to have this, right? Because it's 50% or less, right? Like, this is a very simple condition. You don't have to jump through a lot of hoops. You take a lot of damage on turn 1. You have this guy in turn 2. You can immediately revive, which is nice. And then attacks effective against all types and launches an additional super attack starting from the turn in which this character's revival skill is activated. Unfortunately, this only activates for one of the Omegas, whichever one revives. Again, if I was going to make any change to this character, I'd make it like 23rd World Tournament Goku, to where, like, if any revive is activated, like, this just becomes active as well. Like, that's how I would change him there. We already talked about the active skill. It's very good. You guys can pause and read the condition there if you want to. Links are very good. Again, you have to link level this guy. He is a must link level. These are the categories right here that he's on. And then these are his 200% leaders. You know, he's got a couple. I don't know that I'd really run him on any of these teams. Maybe theirs. But yeah, I'd say he's pretty much just locked to his own team. Like, you gonna run this guy on Kale's team? Like, what in the world? And then yeah, his best linking partners are just gonna be like other Shadow Dragons, basically. So, let me know what you guys think about LR Omega Shenron. Oh, my mouse just died. That's not good. Or I guess Carnival LR Omega Shenron. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you stayed through this entire like 40-minute lecture of me just crying about this guy, I appreciate it. If you just skip to the end, I also appreciate it. Regardless, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.